Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I was here in question time today when I heard the Prime Minister say that Australians understand that the government I lead gets things done. Well, Deputy Speaker, the Australians that I speak to know that under this Prime Minister, what this government has done is demolish and decimate their standards of living. Australians are experiencing a collapse in living standards under the Albanese Labor government that has been brought about by the Albanese Labor government and yet continues to be denied by the Albanese Labor government. And recent polls have shown, Deputy Speaker, that Australians now know that the cost of living crisis that they are experiencing is directly attributable to this government and to this government's gross overspending and the government's absolute failure to rein in inflation. We heard some things today here in question time, some commentary by the Treasurer that I could not believe. When asked a question about whether he would take responsibility for the 12 interest rate rises that have occurred under his watch, he went straight back to the one interest rate rise that occurred under the former coalition government. And Australians, those Australians that would have listened to that, or those Australians that will see it tomorrow in the news, in their news feed, on their social media, they know that they are now experiencing a far worse standard of living than they were 2 years ago. And, Deputy Speaker, when I'm out in my electorate, through southern Sydney, through the Sutherland Shire, through south-western Sydney, regardless of where I go, whether it be Bangor, Bundeena, whether it be Ingleburn, whether it be Illawong, whether it be Hammondville, they are all telling me exactly the same thing. Their mortgages are up by $24,000 a year. Their insurances are right up. They know when they go to the supermarket each week, when they go to the butcher's, when they go to the fruit and vegetable shop, when they go to their local cafe to buy a coffee, they know that they are paying a lot more now than they were 2 years ago. And that is just one of the impacts, the major impacts that this is having, Deputy Speaker, is on Australians' way of life. I've had so many families say to me, sport is a massive part of the community in the electorate, in the seat that I'm privileged to represent, Deputy Speaker, and parents have now had to reconsider whether or not their children will play summer sports this year. They are saying to me that they are considering how much insurance they continue to take out. They're cutting back on insurance. This is not the Australia that was here 2 years ago. This is the Australia and this is the way of life that has now been delivered by this Labor government. And it is disgraceful. It is disgraceful that we have seen this tearing apart of the fabric of Australians' lives. And, Deputy Speaker, I speak to small business in my community regularly, and small business households will say to me their energy costs have gone up by $1,000 and more. Small businesses will talk about the tens of thousands of dollars that they are now paying more for energy costs, and that is directly attributable again to Albanese Labor government policies where they would look at nothing but renewable energies. They've refused to, because of ideology, they have refused to look at a more pragmatic approach and to say, maybe we've got this wrong, maybe we should be considering other options such as more gas or such as nuclear power to work together with renewables to address our energy crisis. Well, and I was also here today, Deputy Speaker, when I heard the member for Adelaide say that those on our side have no solutions. We do have solutions. We would absolutely fight inflation. We will bring inflation down, and that will then allow the Reserve Bank to bring interest rates down. We will cut red tape. We will assist small businesses with asset write-offs, instant asset write-offs. we will get this economy back on track,
Time
Deputy
has expired.
Speaker.